Hey guys, so I just wanted to make a quick announcement that squash got into the 2028 Olympics. That's insane. I'm so happy. When I first, so I was on a Zoom call with Team Japan. This happened just about a week ago. I was on a Zoom call with Team Japan and we were listening to the conference that was happening in Chennai, India, with the Olympic Committee, and they're streaming the videos of the sports that were trying to get into the Olympics, and then they're streaming videos about the sports that are currently in the Olympics and all of that, and the whole Zoom meeting call was 4 hours long. It was really long. But it was 1000% worth it because at the end, I think just past the 3 hour point, they're like, okay, like we're gonna start announcing the sports that officially like made it to the LA 2028 Olympics, and then they announced squash, and I was like, seriously? Like, it's real, it's happening. And yeah, I was trying to, so Team Japan, we had to talk to the press after, the Japanese press, and me and two other teammates, both on the women's team, we were both on the Zoom call, and we still spoke to the press. I don't know exactly how that looked like, but it was probably like, they had their like microphone and their camera probably pointed just at the screen that we were on. But yeah, so I had to say the first part in English just because I didn't know how to express myself in Japanese, since this means a lot to me. What I had said to them was I was extremely happy and grateful that this was finally happening, and that it's always been a dream of mine to play in the Olympics. I told them that, like, right when I was 8 years old, I remember that was the first time that I heard about the Olympics. It was the one in Beijing. I think it was the Summer Olympics, and I was in Japan at the time, visiting my grandparents over the summer in the small town Yui, and I was watching from the TV. I was watching all these insane athletes, all the slow motion videos that they do, all like super cool. I still remember it. And then I remember the firework display was insane too. And then I have a very vivid memory of being in grade 5 in 2010, and they had the Olympics, the Winter Olympics in Vancouver, and I don't think I could be there at the time, but like in class, we would talk about the Olympics, and I remember hearing the news that Vancouver Olympics, what they're doing was they're bringing snow from all different continents of the world to try to make it like as international as possible, and I think it happened in Whistler. That was also, I guess, the first time I was hearing about Whistler, but I like really wanted to go. I didn't end up going, but I really wanted to go because that's still like the best athletes in the world. And I did keep up with it, especially with like the figure skating, because I figure skated at the time. And also it was in Canada, and it was in Vancouver, which is, an hour and a half, 2 hour like ferry ride from where I live. And so, since then, like, I would watch the Olympics always, but those were like my first two like memories of the Olympics, and then me thinking like, I want to be there. I want to be there. That's gonna be me. And, you know, at the time, I knew squash wasn't in the Olympics because I remember when I was, I think, like 12 years old. When I was 12 years old, I got the announcement that squash just didn't make the 2016 Olympics. And, you know, I was like kind of sad because, you know, it wasn't in the Olympics yet, because that would have been cool. But at the same time, I was like, okay, well, like, you know, and I was in middle school, I was in grade 7. I was like, well, you know, like, I know, like, make it in eventually, and, you know, I want to be ready for when it does make it in. And then, you know, when I was 13 years old, I remember in middle school, me and like other of the athletic kids, like we'd talk about like the Olympics and like insane athletes and stuff like that. And I remember when I was 13 years old, there's this guy in my class, he played tennis. And I remember we were both saying to each other, we're gonna see each other at the Olympics, you know? And then even at the end of the school year, when we like signed each other's books, I think we both said "see you at the Olympics" in our like with our signatures in the school yearbook. So yeah, it's like it's been a dream of mine for a really, really long time. And then yeah, so even though sometimes I remember he would like joke around a bit. He's like, oh yeah, like squash isn't in the Olympics yet. And I'm like, yeah, but it will be. And then, you know, because we're 13, we were both like, okay, well, like it'll happen when we're ready. And then I remember when I was 16, that's when we just missed out on going to the 2020 Olympics, which was in Tokyo. Obviously, like by then, you know, I was in high school, so I was completely fully aware of what was happening with, you know, the elections, the sport elections, and the, you know, the politics that go into choosing a sport, an Olympic sport. And I was extremely upset. I was in a really, really bad, stormy mood for 1 week. And the squash community, we tried super duper hard to try to get into the 2020 Olympics. And the 2020 Olympics, those were in Japan, Tokyo. So at the time, you know, I was kind of like debating on, you know, choosing Canada or Japan. And, you know, Japan was like really trying to like, I think I had represented them for the first time that year. But I was saying, you know, like as a Japanese person playing in Japan at the Olympics, like that would be the best atmosphere and the best experience probably that I could ever imagine my whole life. So when, you know, we got the news that, you know, breakdancing and boxing and stuff like that made it in instead, I was quite upset. Yeah, even now, I kind of get like upset thinking about it, but it's okay, it happened. Yeah, I was in a really bad mood for that time because we didn't make it in. And then I remember, you know, I was complaining about it to one of my friends in like the library, and then there's like these little like cubicles that you like study in, and there's a girl who I saw, she like stood up from one of the cubicles and turned around and then said to me, she's like, you know, squash has to be played in a certain number of countries, right? And I like looked at her and I was like, yeah, it's played in over 180 countries, so I don't think that's the issue. And she was like, oh, and then sat back down. And I'm like, yeah. That's not actually how I acted, but I was just kind of like, I think I was just annoyed because it didn't make it in. It was just politics, you know. But anyways, And oh, also when I graduated from high school, I remember in the yearbook, there was a superlative for who's most likely to go to the Olympics, and I was one of the people. I was one of the, what do you call it, when the people could vote for me if they wanted to. And you know, I overheard some people talking about it, and obviously, like, I want to be voted for that because I want to, like, I don't know, because I spend so much time and energy even at that time for like my sport, and so for people to realize that you know, in the long run, like, I would, if squash got into Olympics, then I would be going to the Olympics. Like, you know, I'm playing at a international level. Yeah, I didn't get it. There's a girl who had already quit fencing earlier that year who got it. Okay, like, she was really good at fencing, okay? But she also quit earlier that year. So I was like a little bit triggered about that because I'm like, well, she quit and she's not picking it up anytime soon. Well, for me, I got a full ride scholarship to play my sport, and also I'm on the national team for my sport too. And I am continuing to play my sport and everything. So yeah, like, no shade towards her. Like, she worked really hard to get to where she was. But yeah. And there's a couple other people too. I don't remember at all who they were, but I don't know if they still play their sport or not. And then when we were trying to get into the 2024 Olympics, you know, we were trying really hard. That was more of like a last minute thing. At least maybe I was just out of the bubble a little bit when it was happening because I was in university and I was like pretty busy with my life, everything that was happening. I remember getting the news that it didn't get into the 2024 Olympics. I was on a bus with my teammates. We were coming back from a home game. I think we were coming back from Cornell, which is about like an 8 hours something bus ride, 9 hours something bus ride. I'm not exactly sure, but that might have been it. And I remember being really, really upset about it, and me and like the seniors especially, we were talking about how much of a joke it was that, you know, that we didn't get in. Like, even though the other sports are hard too, squash has been trying to get into the Olympics for like a long time now, as you know, I just told you. Also, they've been trying to go to the Olympics before 2016. They've been trying since, I think, 2002, I believe. But anyways, yeah, I think 2002. But yeah, we didn't make it into the 2024 Olympics. I was pretty upset because I remember earlier that year, actually, I was in the gym and I was working hard at the gym as usual, putting in, you know, 100% of the effort that I could give at that moment in time. And I was talking to the trainer. She's right now the Team USA trainer. She's a really, really good trainer, and obviously now that she's like on like a national team level, coaching people in the gym and all that. I remember talking to her, and I told her that I was working hard because I wanted to play in the 2024 Olympics. Like, I knew that it was going to be like a slow build up, you know, it would take years to like get to where I want to be. I think this was in like 2019. Yeah, I think this was in 2019. where I was like, I'm working hard to try to get into the 2024, or to do well at the 2024 Olympics and to go to the 2024 Olympics. And then where she looked at me and she was like, go on, Brooke. Like, like she was hyping me up. Yeah, I love that. We support that energy. But yeah, then squash didn't get into the Olympics, and I was like, well, there goes my dream yet again. And then and then last year, when I was coaching at the U.S. Squash National Training Center in Philly, they were doing a video on what does it mean to be like a squash player and whatnot, and so I got like a little mini interview. I guess that was like my first interview ever, and I was like pretty nervous, and I didn't know how to like look at the camera, and I didn't really know exactly what to say. I think I was being like super duper duper humble. I mean, I think I usually am I think most squash players are pretty humble, but I think we need to like, hype each other up a bit more and be a bit more out there. I know it's like a little scary. I mean, me making this video, I mean, it's a little bit scary, but yeah, it was, I did that interview, and I remember asking some of the staff members, I'm like, is squash actually going to be in the Olympics? And then they're like, we can't answer the question yet. And I was like, oh, this is probably just like a promo video or something. But yeah, I mean, that video never came out, so it never came out because none of the shots that they would have taken in that like building I ever saw. And also, if I did see it, then I guess I didn't make the cut. But yeah. And then I guess, by the time I was like finishing university, I was just kind of like, oh, well, I don't know if squash will like ever make it into the Olympics. If it does, like, that would be amazing. Like, I knew it would make it into the Olympics eventually, but I just didn't know when. And so I was already like, didn't want to have that like heartbreak anymore. So I was just focused on like, okay, so the events that are possible, that have squash and that are like, just as world class as they are would be Asian Games. And at least if I were representing Japan, and then if I were representing Canada, it would be Pan Ams and Commonwealth. But yeah, right now at the time I'm like with Japan, representing the rising sun, and yeah, so I guess I just missed out on going to Asian Games, but that's okay. Mostly because the International Olympic Committee for Japan only wanted to send 3 people instead of 4 people per team, and they ended up not doing as well. I think they would have done a lot better if they had sent me, not only because I would be there to like cheer everyone on at least if I wasn't playing, but also because then, as a team, you can have like rest days, like the players, you can be more strategic with like who's playing on for which day to try to have like to maximize the best outcome. But yeah, anyways, that's, I guess, sort of like leading up to how I was feeling towards going to the Olympics. And now, that's my goal, is to go to the Olympics, and then to do well at the Olympics, to get a medal at the Olympics. I have a good amount of time. Well, I have 5 years to peak, since it's in LA 2028. I hope to see all of you guys there. But yeah, so now that squash is in the Olympics, I'm hoping to, get like a sponsor And you know, the bigger the sponsor, the better. But honestly, I would just be insanely happy with just getting a sponsor to help my like support system, and so that I can be more focused on my training, and whether that's like in the actual playing squash or going to the gym or recovery or nutrition or like maintenance or traveling, like going to tournaments and scheduling out like my year and everything. It takes a team, and you know, if I want to do well, then I need to like get the best team that I possibly can, and then work with them, and because this process takes years to be top in the world, you know, and it takes a long time, and it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of dedication, but I know that it's possible, and I know that I can get there. It just takes time, and I have to like trust the process. And you know, the more support I have, then you know, like I guess mentally, and it reassures me and helps me knowing that I have this team who believes in me, and who are on my side and on my team and want me to like get better, become the best I can be, and everything. But yeah, it'll take time, but I know it'll be worth it 1000% at the end. For me, and for my team, and for everyone else who's involved, and even for probably the squash community too, and you know, I guess everyone who I have like connected with, it'll just be good all around, just good positive energy, and yeah, we're working towards that. Yeah, I mean, the stakes have just gone higher now that squash is in the Olympics. Now everyone obviously wants to go to the Olympics, and also like they want to qualify, and then they want to, you know, get a medal. That's the biggest honor as an athlete, is to win a medal at the Olympics. And when I think it was 2015 or something, when Nicole David said that she would trade all her 8 world championship titles for a gold medal at the Olympics. Obviously, I've never won a world championship title before, but I know there is an insane amount of effort that goes into it. But to win a gold medal at the Olympics, that's crazy. Like, you actually go down in the history books of your country, of the world. You get it? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Even if it wasn't a gold medal, like, to get a medal, but to get a gold medal, that, yeah, if to get a gold medal, that would be my dream come true. Like, the amount of crying that I would probably do if I got a gold medal would be crazy. Like crying of like happiness, gratitude, all the sacrifices that I had made, you know, everything. But just to like get a medal in general, I feel like that's like that would be insane too in general. But yeah, all the squash players now, we're all going for it, and I'm so excited. I'm so ready. I'm more than ready to like put in all the work, all the blood, sweat, and tears, and all the sacrifices just to go to the Olympics and win a medal. Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know how much it means to me that squash got into the LA Olympics, 2028 Olympics. If I go, I better see all of you there. That would be so hype. The atmosphere I know will be like insane. But yeah, I'm really grateful for you guys watching this video and all my future videos leading up to, I guess, the Olympics, you know? Hopefully I'm still making videos by that time, which I'm sure I will be. This is gonna be a journey, and I'm more than happy to bring you guys with me. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be sad, it's gonna be all the emotions, but yeah, it's gonna be worth it in the end, that's for sure. I can't wait. But you know, I'm also like I'm also gonna enjoy the journey as well. I can't only think about the result. The journey is just as important, if not more important. It's all the little baby steps, you know? Because you need those baby steps to eventually to see progress and to eventually get to the top. Thank you for watching. I guess like, subscribe, comment, I don't know, comment positive stuff, comment your thoughts on, I guess, who you think is gonna go to the Olympics from each country. Just so you know, it is 5 years from now, so that's quite a bit of time you gotta think about. So yeah, 5 years from now, I think hopefully I'll be in top 10 at least in the rankings. Yeah. And oh, comment a sun to show support for me, because yeah, the Rising Sun. That's the team Rising Sun. Let's go. But yeah, thanks guys. Love you all, and I'll upload another video soon. Okay, bye.